My husband's secretary has been spending wildly with my credit card, and she even called me a useless housewife at a French restaurant. Furious, I froze that card, leaving her unable to pay the bill. The restaurant manager had her sent straight to the police station. When my husband found out, he quickly explained with a smile. She's new to the corporate world. She doesn't know the rules yet. I'll teach her a lesson. Later, on my birthday, my husband took me to that same French restaurant. After ordering a table full of expensive wine and dishes, he said he needed to step out to take a call. But I waited until nearly closing time, and he never came back. Just as I pulled out my card to pay, the restaurant manager told me, "Miss Serena, your credit card has been frozen." Frozen? This was the card Callum gave me. Before we left, he even took my card away, saying that since it was my birthday, he had to be the one to pay. I was so touched at the time, secretly congratulating myself for finding such a good husband. But now he's nowhere to be found, and he hasn't answered any of the dozens of calls I've made. If this card doesn't work, I'm going to be in serious trouble. The manager's expression shifted from respectful to impatient as he looked at me. "Miss Serena, do you have any other card you can use? Let me be clear. We don't allow people to dine and dash here. You knew that from last month, didn't you?" Of course I remembered. Last month, Callum's little secretary used the card he gave her to spend recklessly and called me a useless trophy wife. Could it be? An ominous feeling crept up my spine, making me suspect this was Callum's way of getting revenge for his secretary. Just as that thought crossed my mind, I heard the sound of heels clicking outside. I quickly turned to look and saw Callum walking in with his arm around his secretary, who was glaring at me with pure hatred. Behind them followed a group of friends, all wearing expressions like they were about to watch a show. "Serena, don't you just love punishing people who can't pay their bills? Well, now you can experience firsthand what it's like when you can't pay." As soon as he finished speaking, the whole room erupted. I heard this Serena came from a poor family. She just got lucky that Mr. Callum took a liking to her. Now her own husband is here with his new flame to watch her humiliation. Ha 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 ha. See that? This is what happens when you climb the social ladder using just your pretty face. Exactly. How long can her youth and beauty last? When a rich man finds a younger, prettier girl, that's when her life of luxury comes to an end. I slowly clenched my fists, the rage from being humiliated boiling over instantly. Just as I suspected, Callum had set me up to get revenge for his secretary. Callum held Lily's hand and walked to the front, pulling out a chair to sit down. "Lily, don't worry. However Serena humiliated you that day, I'll make her pay back double." Lily's face lit up with delight, and she instinctively turned and kissed Callum on the lips. "Thank you, Callum." Then she looked at me with a provocative stare. "Serena, you're nothing but a pretty face. What gives you the right to freeze my card?" As soon as she finished speaking, she grabbed an expensive bottle of red wine and smashed it at my feet. Crash! Wine splashed onto my face, making me look even more pathetic. "Ha ha ha ha. You useless piece of trash. Now I have Callum to pay for me. I can smash as many bottles as I want and he'll cover it. But you're screwed." Callum also looked at me with mockery. "Don't glare at me like you want to kill me. If you have money, you can pay and leave." Ha 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 ha. Like she has any money to pay. Those dishes and the open bottles of wine add up to an amount that's way beyond her reach. She's always lived off Mr. Callum's money. Without him, she's nothing. To completely humiliate me, Callum stood up with a smile and swept his cold gaze across the room. "Anyone who dares to help Serena out of this situation is my enemy and will be making an enemy of me." Everyone knew the Reeves family was the wealthiest in Manhattan. No one dared to offend Callum. A few business partners who had good relationships with me were about to stand up to help me out. But when they heard Callum's words, they quickly sat back down, afraid Callum would notice their movement. "See that? Mr. Reeves is serious. He loves his little secretary more than his wife." Right. I thought since they were legally married, Mr. Reeves was just angry for the moment. But this is real. With his threat, who would dare help Serena? I lost control in my anger and walked over to grab Callum's hand, demanding answers.